Let us all say the Lord's Prayer, shall we? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive us trespasses, so forgive us those who trespass against us. Give us the temptation, us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Thank you. Parliament resumes.
Bills, Committee of Supply, the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025.
Honourable members, the House will now resolve into the Committee of Supply to consider the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Thank you, honourable members. We are now in the Committee of Supply to consider the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Consider 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. According to Standing Order 63.1, we have a maximum of 4 days to consider allotted for discussion of the Appropriation Bill in Committee of Supply. As usual, we will first consider the schedules head by head before we consider each clause of the bill. Please be reminded that when we consider each head, understanding Order 64.3, there are few rules we must adhere to, and that is to say, one, any debate on a head must be confined to the policy of the service for which the money is to be provided. Two, the debate must not deal with the details of any item or subhead. And thirdly, reference, however, may be made during the debate to the details of the revenues or funds for which that service is responsible. Honourable members, we will now proceed to consider the first schedule. The recurrent expenditure, Head 01, Head 01, Solomon Islands Electoral Commission. Excuse me. It is here proposed that the sum of $19,934,556 for Head 01 stand part of the schedule, and if any member wishes to comment on this head, I'll give some chance. Any member wishes to comment on that head? Thank you, Honourable MP for East Choiseul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just sub-item 0101 elections and by-elections no more. Maybe for creating a normal house, but no, this one is for this year. Oh, sorry, for next year. Elections, 3 million.
Thank you. Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Election and by-elections. There is one or two, I think, wards. For example, there is last week one ward, Loisable, the MPA passed on, so the allocation will cater for next year's by-election. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable MP for
unless the Leader of Opposition would like to pursue that, but we will move another item. This is the next one down, 6.0 8 million, and probably the question, this policy question, number what improvements now is the government envisaging for the 2028 elections. Now there's a number of I guess reform on the line of this one. One is the every elections, Mr. Chairman, you may get close to 10,000 people who participate or vote. Now, that number probably will increase now with the seasonal workers. And when you had them, there's about 7,000, probably going 8,000. By the time you become 28, probably 10,000 seasonal workers. And we have students as well, probably another 2,000, another 3,000 outside. So you're looking at close to about 10, 11,000 potential voters that will not participate. No vote. And these are people who vote with their head, not with bags of rice and how much you give probably. So they will be independent in the way they make decisions below the global. So what the registration of voters there, specifically on that one, but will be by me also capturing more people and what the reforms that on the pipeline and so on. Maybe the Prime Minister for clearing come up. What is your statement?
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank the Honourable Member for his choice for that important question in terms of the head 22809-101-01010 registration of voters. That allocation 6.8 plus million. These will cater for some pre-election activities, especially to prepare and design the full nationwide voter registration exercise for 2027. Secure essential biometric voter registration equipment early. They would like to use that allocation to secure some of those equipment, to upgrade systems and technical platforms, and also strengthen operational and staff readiness, and ensure that there is compliance with legal and constitutional requirements for the 2028 joint elections. So these are some of the pre-election activities that this allocation will go towards. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable MP for East Joseph.
Chairman, thank you very much for that one. I think the second part of the question is no problem. No, Prime Minister responded. The series of reforms that you may want to undertake in the registration process, and that should include people who step outside of the country for vote. The government envisages that one, but in capture number 2. So it's the reform, he will continue as Mitala. There will be probably about 10 to 15,000 voters who will not be able to vote come 2028, suppose you may keep to the existing system.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank the MP for his stress on that important question. Yes, some of the reforms to the Electoral Act to accommodate some of the issues that the Honourable Member has alluded to. That's a priority for the government, and hopefully we'll bring those amendments to the Electoral Act next year, between next year and 2027, before the elections. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Longo side law establishment, obviously not much any change, but the matter of registration, you need to talk about since law 18 up to 8, yeah, in terms of continuing registration, and it seems the only thing barring that from happening is, because there's already legal provision for it in the Act, is the establishment and obviously supporting budget for provinces roll out Blohem. But it seems there is a decision not to do this, so we have not allocated the human and other charges resources for supporting this initiative. Just for clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and I do thank the leader of the official opposition for that important observation. Work will still continue then, but we've been guided by the Electoral Commission that they would like to put in some of the preparatory work first, then see the need to ensure that there is sufficient staff in the provincial centre. So that is work in progress, and we will be working closely with the Electoral Commission going forward in terms of their capacity to ensure that we have adequate staff in our provinces.
Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This was fire in Bonem office just a few weeks ago. I mean, no current impact law data sets, and especially law side law register law voters, have some other data. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader of Opposition. Now, in terms of the data is secure, securely stored elsewhere. But of course, there have been equipments that have been destroyed, physical equipment, and some of the budget allocations here will cater for replacement of those office equipment. But the data is secure. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the comments, Honourable MP for East Arare.
Thank you, Chair. Just a follow-up normal question to Leader of Opposition. Mino hearing clear normal in terms of the registration issue. I think staffing, I think is an issue that Prime Minister responded to, but just the idea whether this also covers this. I think they call it open registry, where and by open, it means no puputu mosem register lo time mosem close time mosem, them open normal. I think closing time normal now by Imi Putu. That one, I think, Mino Heron clear in terms of the reforms. This is cover. I think staffing is part of it, but just to hear that conversation is ongoing on that particular issue. Thanks.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I thank the MP for East Arare and the Chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee for that important question. As part of the pre-elections or the voter registration requirements, we'll look into those. The allocation that I made reference to earlier, that 6+ million, they look at the logistics of those arrangements. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Two fella big reform. Well, the need big in terms of need. Of course, this continuing registration is critical. Already legal provisions there. You must roll them out, I think. It's more budgetary and public service resourcing is the impediment. We must put them out. I remember when the Act came, 2018 Act came, it came with a schedule of both budgetary and human resource needs. And the promise then with the Act was that this would then be rolled out once Act 10 passed, budget would support it. But no budget since then has supported it. So no matter where you should continue for postponing. I think it's really critical so that we don't get to before elections and then you may spend, look at selling for registration more. People raw because of queue up and not some man taken people on one place go register on another place. It causes all sorts of social issues. Part with that, of course, that registration is the matter of taking out voters from Honiara Golo rural constituency or from some other place, shipping people around. I think it's really critical for our democracy and its process of maturing that we make elections cheaper so that elections do not become one, only for people who have money, or two, for people who have access to money. Because when they have access to money, of course, they will have to raise funds. And once they're raising funds, they can become vulnerable to capture by those who give that kind of funding. It's not good for our democracy and the exercise of our sovereignty in decision making. So we must address in this one end. And this goes to the absentee balloting and the issue raised by Member Blois Choice earlier with regards to Solomon Islands in foreign countries being able to participate. But it does also apply to those who are registered in constituencies but living elsewhere. They're able to participate without going there. And therefore, Chatham ship, any kind of something, go, and borrow expensive for good. Where are we with that? And the third one is the ordinarily resident definition. That must be looked at And is that in this list of matters that will be resolved? And what time are we looking at? You mean only leave him go last minute more? Then we are pressed by time and make compromises that are probably not sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank the Leader of Opposition for those important observations, and I agree to those important observations in terms of our preparedness to, in terms of the next elections. Some of the points that he has raised, of course, does have some, will relate to the ongoing electoral reforms and amendments to the Electoral Act. I think some of those amendments might have some financial implications too, budgetary implications. So when those amendments come, it will be clear as to the overall picture in terms of what are the financial implications. Hence, the importance to accommodate those in the budget for elections. But I take the point that voter registration is supposed to be an ongoing activity, one that will continue to work with the Electoral Commission. But I think what is important first is the necessary amendments to the Electoral Act. That will cover some of the areas that the Leader of Opposition alluded to, as well as East Tresol earlier. So the government will be working closely on these matters with the Electoral Commission going forward. That these important electoral reforms, but also the importance of all our people, the eligible voters to register, is a critical part of our democratic process. Thank you.
Thank you. Now put the question. Sorry, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just to ask when our official move go ahead, Mr. Thank you.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. They are now temporarily housed at the National Food Court building of the National Stadium. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $19,934,566 for head 01 stands part of the schedule. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $19,934,556 for head 01 now stands part of the schedule. Head 0202, Office of the Ombudsman. It is proposed that the sum of $5,346,630 for head 02 stand part of the schedule. If any member wishes to comment on this head before I put the question. Sorry about the PAC's findings for information of the committee, and the recommendations of the head are on pages 21 to 23 of the Public Accounts Committee report on this bill. Thank you, Honourable MP, for his choice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just probably a very general question. Some of the policy intentions to the for properly organizing the work of the good governance institutions, and one of them is to pull together all the good governance institutions under the umbrella of Parliament as the supreme body of good governance. Also, and Ombudsman come under anti-corruption, Auditor General come under that. So we pull all the good governance institutions under the umbrella of the National Parliament as the supreme body of good governance. Has there been any, are we still considering that one, or you may shelve it now?
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. I do thank the MP for his choice for that important question. There is ongoing discussions and exploration on that idea, as alluded to by the MP for his choice. But we have not come to a substantive conclusion or report as yet going forward. But that is the policy rationale and idea that we would like to pursue. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. I would urge the Prime Minister and government to a little bit move quickly on that one. I think there will be some fiscal gains, some budgetary gains by moving them under Parliament and perhaps even sharing resources in terms of corporate services or administration and all that kind of something also. This, sir, Ombudsman's office, give me an example of Yumi Parliament passing law and then executive no implementing law. Not this one. Same with the Electoral Commission too. Because time Yumi passing law, come with him now schedule law, budgetary implications, and come with him manning powers, human resources, and also on human resource side, you may always, executive always fail for allocate lo him. An ombudsman complain too much law each year and make him submissions for increased low number of staff to him, and each year that is ignored. And base law needs him looking at the workload and also so. It's either we move a little bit more efficiently towards this idea, bring them all under the integrity institutions, become organs of Parliament, and sharing resources, or we resource them if we're not moving as quickly in the meantime, so they're able to discharge their important responsibilities. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and I thank the Leader of Opposition for raising that very important observation. In terms of course, over the years, there has been some neglect in terms of resourcing these important integrity institutions, and I do acknowledge recommendation 2 of the PAC report, which is on the Office of the Ombudsman. We'll attend to that recommendation. But the point is well taken. Resourcing these integrated institutions are critical, including the Ombudsman's office, so that they can carry out their constitutional mandates. And I think the Minister of Finance may also wish to comment on this. But the Office of the Prime Minister does acknowledge recommendation 2 relating specifically to the Ombudsman's office. But I guess the same more or less applies to other integrated institutions like the Office of the Leadership Court Commission and even the CICAC. These are important institutions going forward. We'd like to see them really functioning well and operational in order for them to discharge their constitutional mandates. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable MP for... Sorry, let me give the floor first to the Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and do acknowledge the important concern from the Leader of Opposition and, of course, member for his choice in terms of that important state institution. Of course, when we look at increasing the budget not only to productive sector and resource, but also to improve our state institution in terms of monitoring and, of course, guiding government in terms of reporting, and so that's really important, as recommended from the PAC report, of course, including the Office of the Auditor General and Ombudsman, and so that's something that the government is also, as I highlighted through the budget speech, in terms of thing, while we want to focus on the growth, but this is also important to help the government in terms of how we can monitor funds. And these are the institutions that are really important to help the government so that we sort of help in terms of how funds. And so I think the important recommendation for government to resource this institution is something that is important and going forward for us to make sure that this institution well resourced. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for West Arare.
Thank you, Chairman. Page 26, Accounting Code 22110101020020. That's publicity and promotion. Mr. Chairman, me encourage Placheti Hembara Kosaptapol now. I think there are very important programs and plans for the publicity and promotion law. This will Hetia, if Prime Minister Sab explaining the committee. Thank you.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and I do thank the MP for West Araria and the Chairman of the Bills and Legislation Committee for that important observation in terms of that head, publicity and promotions. Yes, this provision caters for the printing of brochures, posters, as well as continuous public outreach program, also including 2 cost water weekly radio program. The baseline costing was 150,000, I think, and 10% reduction is 15,000. Hence, the 2026 line budget is 135,000. I note that there has been some reduction on this, but we hope that if the need arises, I'm sure, although the other allocations, the other heads are also very small, but normally they do via from other heads if there are sufficient funds under other heads, but this is an important part and parcel of the officers' ongoing work. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Thank you, sir. One of the requirements law ombudsman are there for focal points in ministries and in local provinces, and we haven't been able to, or he hasn't been able to implement that requirement. It's a clear requirement in the Act because of resource constraints, allocation law, manpower establishment law. But this brings this point raised earlier by Member Blow is choiceable. If we want to do this, let's do it properly. Let's do it nothing but a waka good for you, me. And especially when increased budget overall, we're hitting 6 billion now. It's the first time we've hit 6 billion. As the budget increases, there is possibility of more maladministration. We need the Ombudsman's office to really work. There could be, financial probity risks are higher, so we need the Auditor General to be better resourced. So with all these, balancing eyes, looking at accountability at individual level in civil service and in leadership, and making sure that reporting and everyone's protected. You, me, civil service, doing the right thing in the public sector, public space. So as the budget increases, my impression looking overall is that neglect here may just get worse more because proportionally can get lower and lower. Because bigger budget, but maintaining similar levels of allocation here, no stop do back. So this will answer Minister of Finance here. I'm here nice, but me like for him, what are you going to do about it? I know there's fiscal space. That budget unit tell him there is some space. Resource allocation, resources could be allocated to critical areas. And me thinking about trival no more critical for good. The others now is in the productive economic side of him, good. The focus is there and rightly should be. Now on social safety net, and when we will come to it, it will become clear the allocations for social safety net have almost non-existent now, I'm negligent. And the other one now, keeping an eye on the public sector, the whole system, that making sure that the system is doing what it's supposed to do. But what are we going to do about it? It's not good enough to say what important something you must do here. No, we want to see what nobody actually done about it. Especially that we know there is some fiscal space. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and do acknowledge the important concern from Leader of Opposition. Yes, I think there are room that we can support our institution, and also that's important when we increase our expenditure, especially in terms of areas that you mean like focus and growth is also important, like Leader Hemi alluded to, that we also need to strengthen our institution, and that's something that we're hoping that for next year by Hemi and helping especially. I think the important observation by MP for his choice, it's also important in terms of, because I think that the challenge sometimes we face too, because how we place this institution and then still come back under budget, especially below PMO. So I think the way forward that should be clear. This institution, maybe it's good for us to set aside something that resources that ME blocks 11 so that can help them. And I'm happy sort of helping low or some their role and function for continue to see how, including different, especially how you may spend public funds. So that's area that important and something that as a government to look at, and I'm hoping that this area going forward to address, and maybe there are rooms that we can support the institution, not really, but I think going forward we started so that help me as me continue to increase budget, but then our role from in terms of reporting and monitoring and important too. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Honorable MP for East Choice first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In fact, I fully endorse him, the comments by the Minister of Finance in Mexico. Let me assume that one, and this also gets related to this independence of good governance institutions. They should not queue behind the line for trying to fight for resources for the Ministry of Finance. By right, good governance institutions should be prioritized. So very important for the nation. So I fully endorse, I think, the direction that they're going to, and up to the question that is asked by the Leader of Opposition. A small question, normally, just to clear, how many times now, but section we meet 1 year. There's a sitting allowance of $1,000 for 1 year. So how many times will we meet and whoever it is that we meet there? And what's the level of allowance you pay more than Mr. Chairman? So 1,000. It is 21209.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the MP for his choice on that question in terms of the meeting allowances. I don't have the exact number as to how many times they do meet a year, in a year, but of course certainly this is a very small allocation. But in terms of the number of times, I don't have that detail with me. But usually, as I've said earlier, when a particular head they run out of funds, they usually buy from another head which is close by, which is relevant to that, to get resources if there is that need to get resources for any particular activity. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable MP for Sarah, Chair of the Legislation Committee.
Thank you, Chairman. Earlier to my question, this environment may come up, and I appreciate the Minister made some remarks on that when he was winding up on the debate yesterday. But you may come across him, thinking law environment may good, him accepting that provision, but I may defeat him too. This will budget because of the accounting code and of the activities he may budgeted for, and time by him that came budget block then him affect him. supplementary lo dia, but most of the time, looking into supplement him now, or to payments in term most of the time. So we just like for put him on same, and if Minister Finance and Mr. clarify him come law house. At the outset, Mr. Chairman, as you tell by move through this budget. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. And I do acknowledge the important observation by MP for Western and also Chair of BLG. I think that's some of the areas that important we really need to improve on, including the budget process, because I still think that the timing sometimes even the ministry is not really prepared well with how, and that you may have a look in them appeal or supplementary or firemen, because sometimes towards the end of the year when heads not fully utilized, then moving these funds to other areas. So that's a kind of practice we identified a need for some improvement, and that also you will notice from next year's budget that I think most of the reduce appear from the budget mainly because we also see the actuals from year that sometimes not used, and that's the kind of practice that you may notice from finance, that towards the end of year no funds not used, then we move it to other heads. So that's something that we need to improve on. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. These are good, small but good changes to make to strengthen the budget process. Most ministries that appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, when pressed on, they would come and say, priority belum mifal olsem and so forth, but it's not reflected in what's actually allocated. And priority lo tok no more. And so then when committee asks, well, why not you say priority but allocation and no more? Oh, because baseline. So the use of this baseline as a budget control tool, meeting him excessive and go overboard. And so I think when you're looking at those issues, of course, it may be good to make, we don't have huge amounts of resources that we can provide to everybody, whatever we ask him. That's a given. But the use of baseline perhaps should be an internal budget unit control, discipline tool, and let them out agencies, government agencies, make them bid block it on the basis of what they are able to do and deliver to live up to the legal mandates where various legislations are imposed in law. So in the case of the integrity institutions, it is very clear that they are understaffed, they are under-resourced, and it has been systematic, and I wonder whether it's schematic. That really worries me when overall budgetary envelope is increasing. That really worries me. I'm very concerned about this. Then comes the matter of, they are already independent. By law, these institutions, when we passed the Ombudsman's Act here and Electoral Commission Act, Parliament already gave him independence located, reporting no more, come up through the office of the Prime Minister, because they're constitutional offices. And so administratively some distance, have now also East Coast All Talent, put him come under law Parliament. Then that really enhances that independence. But that independence, we have seen, is rendered meaningless when the executive wields the treasury to then suppress resource allocation. So we are yet to find a solution to this. I mean, even Parliament itself and the judiciary, we take it one step further, are also under this it's a systemic weakness in our system. Parliament itself, Parliament is independent, but resource allocation is controlled by the Treasury. And so it's something where Parliament should be doing as the highest accountability institution, him rather retarded. And so I think there must be a proactive search to answer this need. And House Committee last year or year before came up with a mechanism, and Member Blue's choice, or when he was Finance Minister, we had some informal discussions about how that could be done, perhaps proportional to the overall budget, so that Parliament and all other accountability institutions are able to do more and exercise oversight and also employ executive government actions and decisions. So that I think is a search that must continue, but let's bring it to an end. Let's make some decisions and implement some changes to make it more effective. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I do wish to thank the Leader of Opposition for those very important observations, and of course the need to bring to some conclusion some of these discussions, some of these arrangements, probably a restructure of as to where these institutions come under, and of course their independence in terms of funding, I believe is critical. And some of these issues will require some sort of bipartisan discussions and dialogue going forward. But I agree with him that in terms of resourcing these integrated institutions, this is an area that as a government and as Minister of Finance has alluded to, we'll do our best to improve on this, given the importance of these institutions in our democracy. So I wish to thank the leader, and I do take those points on board. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And with those, sorry, Honourable MP for his Churchill.
Thank you. Just there is one. So the office is very important. I don't know where they are, where they are located, but there is a office rent allocation for $1,000. For what? Not that one. The fear is that when we have a token allocations like that, there's temptation. So for you say, why am for going separately for using that all ahead and Muslim? So we really need to be clear what it is for. If you're renting an office, where now this whole office is up, and where is the investment office station this time?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank you, Leader of, the MP for his choice for the important question. The Office of the Ombudsman, located at the Isaac Golani building, sharing that office with the LCC, the Leadership Code Commission. That allocation of office rent 1,000 caters for minor repairs to the office building that they are currently in, when necessary, without asking for MID to do those minor repairs. So that's what that allocation is. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I will now put that question. The question is that the sum of $5,346,630 for head 02 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Ayes have it. The sum of $5,346,630 for head 02 now stands part of the schedule. Our next head is head 03, Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Development. It is proposed here that the sum of $46,982,207 for head 03 stand part of the schedule. Does any member wish to comment on this head? The details are on pages 32 to 45 for the draft recurrent estimates, and the PAC's findings and recommendations of the head are on pages 23 to 28 of the Public Accounts Committee's report on this bill. Any member wish to comment on the head? Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just in terms of data, I mean, each year we appropriate, and the reliability of the data that comes before us is fairly suspect in terms of the system producing timely data, and of course the audits on government accounts backdate out, the outstanding audits. Let me go back to, I think, 2021 or same. So time you may look at the information here, and we look at the actuals. We pray to the good Lord and hope that the actuals are actually the actuals. But if we look at page 32 here, or the income, for example, under headquarters or agriculture, there are two items there: quarantine fees and clearance fees. So we have actuals there for 2024, and then we've got comparatives for 2025. And those same comparatives are taken into 2026. But we don't really know whether in 2025 actuals will resemble the levels of 2024, or better or worse, justifying the kinds of figures or carrying on the same projection for 2026, or are we just making these numbers up? So again, the integrity of data coming out of this 365 system here, it's a big problem when we're appropriating. It has been for a number of years now, but we have to bring it to a head somewhere, fix it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Minister of Finance, Treasury.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, President, for that important observation. Yes, I think that one area that also the Chair of PAC was highlighted during his debate, that I think the D365 is just a good system, but I think for YUMI fully utilizing the need for YUMI and then of course can be rolled out to the ministry to update on the data. So that's a work ongoing, Chair. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Any further comments? Honourable MP for East Choiseul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Page 33 is three further item there, 402, 404, 406, all relating to trainings. Good. I think the emphasis on training local officers, law, productive sector, is something that the ministry will be encouraging. Mr. Chairman and Mr. Chairman, and the specific question, I guess, is how many officers will be in full-time training next year, and how are they feeding to the, I guess, the staff development program belong law ministry. And maybe while I still have you stand up yet, how many officers with degrees and masters na imigarim law Ministry of Agriculture, and where are they deployed? How are they used to other people here? And in line with, I guess, the direction that the government is now taking, Mr. Chairman, what is the government's long-term, I guess, deployment plan for the qualified agriculturists? Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for this choice. There's a training in one fella area where we fella put priority him from last year and this year. So at the moment we have a total of 34 officers that are on training, on full-time training. 3 fella PhD, would assume this time, masters law University of Queensland, and also Sanfala lo FNU2, and also SINU, Sanfala doing the diploma and degree programs. So altogether, we have 34 staff that are all full training. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for his
Thank you. Yes. I think me ask him our questions one time, no, so I'm no fair, Minister. I guess the next question now is how now what fit into the staff development program below ministry. How are these people going to be deployed? Time will come. With some highly qualified people will come with PhDs, and also probably other really questions. Some you got them finished, and how are they deployed? Also, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for his choice for the additional question. Yes, so most of the officers here blow research and extension. What by leading now what the activities load provinces of SMS, so now how what the masters and PhD by what are deployed. So most of them will be leading the activities in the provinces. And now that Mifala go into build into this research center, what are now by spearheading work law Gozoruru as well as our Tenaru, that's 7.5 hectares of land. So they will be all paid at the super scale 1, in order for Mifala retaining Mokata PhDs. At the moment, we only have one PhD, Hemna PS, no more. But the 3 others, on presume, one fellow should finish this year from New Zealand Massey University. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for North New Georgia, have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The answer below, Honourable Minister say, him a little bit unrealistic here. 34 staff, for you using that amount of money no more, for sponsor moketa, for go for training, him bahara no enough here. So he must inform him house whether what he is talking about, I mean, fully funded by the ministry under this head here, or Sampala and funded under national scholarship by CITES. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you for that question, MP for North New Georgia. Most of out of Chase under scholarship here, so under SIG. Another one also under Australia and Australia scholarship. That are 90, I would say about 90% ministry now supporting Ogata World School of Sinuia. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for West RR and Chair of BLC.
Thank you, Chairman. Milo publicity and promotion, second accounting code, law page to the bottom, page 32. Actuals law 2024 hem 0, 2025 hem 0, and then 2026 im kalem budget of more than 300,000. I'm encouraged on this. Chairman, Minister, me kalem increase budget and that activity have come alive. Can you just inform the House of what is the publicity and promotion ministry by me undertaking law next year? Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Chairman, if I could ask MP for West RR for repeating question, please.
Honourable MP.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm on accounting code 2210101030001, second accounting head down, low page 32, publicity and promotion. The question, Chairman, is that Actual Law 2024 law that accounting head M0, 25 M0, and encouragingly, there is more than 300,000 budget law 2026. This is encouraging if Minister himself inform committee law what now by her ministry. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, the MP for that question. This year, we follow Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. We follow most of the activities. We follow centralizing come back law, central headquarters and administration. So that follow particular area. Hem come under central headquarters and administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Honourable MP for East Arare.
Thank you. And thank you, Minister. Just on the salary, public servants salary, page 32, number, code 21102 101 03001. See that there's an increase in the budget estimates in terms of salaries. Just for ask, number, is this due to new recruitments? Some of new officers you manage to take them on board, or some restructuring inside the ministry? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for East Arare, for a good question. Yes, this will increase here, and due to new recruitments, we have 34 positions that are ready for interviews, for running, and also some contracts too. Now that you may get a directors but on contracts too, so that one contribute to this increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MP for North New Georgia.
Thank you, Chairman. Me let go back law 22402 101 03001, or training in service, training in general. If you look law or the records here, Mr. Chairman, look 2025 and zero here. Then you may have 500,000 law revised budget. In service here, law revised budget. And then for next year, and 1.5 million. Minister, I'm saying 32 or 34 in service student now I'm sponsored. That figure, no, I'm unrealistic here. 500,000 for 34 students. Lo Australia, lo New Zealand, lo Sino. Me just like ask ourselves, no good in service training here for what the officers believe no more, Minister. Why ought to go out overseas? No good him no more, you mean by this training. Or still the take 40 or 30 something you talk about? Take it, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, MP, for North New Georgia for question on training. First of all, like we mentioned earlier on, every trainings law of 5 departments and also unit the information unit, we centralizing now, central headquarters and administration, Form 7. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, we follow no support him now with the overseas training and short-term training. All the trainings that you will look at on media, they are all fully funded from outside. So training that follow part here, mainly for what the students blame me, what staff blame me, agriculture law, sino, or same. Most look at outside FNU under different scholarships now, or said and or same. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just in terms of our partnerships with what the friends blame me outside, China, Jiangsu, Migo Vistima, Jiangsu, what call it, Research Academy, I think, something like that. And then the other one along Hainan, where me was in tropical and island was in below uni. But of course, Australian agriculture research, similar New Zealand. These are all countries with very strong research and all SEM for many, many years. Do we have some of our Poketa Okman Blimi? We go train, low side, low research, low but perhaps even other, specific areas where you mean like for focus. Let me thinking good focus, low coconut and cocoa this time, but side low get a pest control and all something, and borrow maybe still one whole big one was because of hands up lohem. But also looking to the future and food security for you me in the face of climate change, we could benefit a lot from some of what they have already been doing for some years. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader Blow, Official Opposition, for that question. Yes, Ministry got an MOU with Jiangsu Academy of Agricultural Sciences, and that one lo Hainan and Katas. And thank you now for that one. That's what we are doing now. So we acknowledge now that for point raised by the leader that we will be closely working with them with different institutions, agricultural institutions for STEM now food security. Blame me. With them Jiangsu Academy of Agricultural Sciences here, like if I look at 31 hectares of rice now in the Ministry and planning for Godol Canal and Malaita provinces, since Malaita had got a sister relationship with the Jiangsu province. And so already we having doing a fish trial, rice trial. The result was encouraging from the first rice trial. By early next year, we should go more for some do more trial or different sites. So we are doing some planting and trials below rice, and it's all MOU where Ministry and Government them JAS or Jiangsu Academy of Agricultural Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Chair, VLC.
Thank you, Chairman. Page 33, low water, accounting code head 2656. Yes, water. Minister, you did very well. You cut him by half. You have more than 500,000 low water. You got a new connection. So how now you come across in that improvement, which is very good news for ministry and ministries to hear as well. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for West Harare for that point raised. Lo this water bill, lo under supplementary, mi outstanding where mi garam where him happened since Pacific Games here. So I'm not clear that's the way now you look him there and for information, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, move in lo new office na. So him na looking lo there by big reduction for water. Now that me stop lo new house every pipe and new no one him leak more. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for North New Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Law Accounting Code 228-101-03-3001. Still on page 33, monitoring and evaluation. Law 2024, imigarem 0. Law 2025, imigarem 0 too. This time, imigarem for next year, we have over 500,000. Which projects, how many, and the locations of all the projects where Babay Iwalago monitoring now, me like po sabi, Mr. Chairman. How many projects, when a location? Because you cannot monitor a project where you not starting this time. You monitor what you started already. So where are they? How many? Have now me like po sabi. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Honourable MP for North New Georgia, for question to you. Again, this is monitoring and evaluation. Everything is centralized, central headquarters and administration. And we have different projects, different provinces, different constituencies. The monitoring actually can start doing delivery of project here. So we do have that fella monitoring and evaluation. I have covered and ministry and the Department of Agriculture Planning and the main department for doing this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for North Georgia.
Thank you, Chair. The Honourable Minister for answer question from me. How many and when are what the locations, what the projects, by you will go monitoring and evaluating. It's a question of how many and the location. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you once again, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for North New Georgia. In terms of projects, I think Benfal providing data to Los Angeles project, but for next year, there are 29 project activities that my ministry have focused on. I think by me telling too that most of the activities that ministry have supposed for carry out, there was a delay. Lost land for him come out. So by this time, we will just receive him now. So you will expect next year after you pass him now, this will cyclone season there. Ministry belum him garam selen now for start work. So I think him now for para putumbo answer for MP Blow Northwest. All the funds are sitting in the ministry for carry out now to work. So next year, we will run back work to minister, but back work too. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. If there are no further comments, let me put the question. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Thank you. You mean lo headquarter and admin no more? Me like move go side lo bet. This one for area you may struggle long time a little bit low him. So time me look low vet and livestock establishment here. We can see the struggle continues for qualified vet officers. So perhaps if Minister could update committee more. I remember asking this question last year about 2025 budget, and I thought the response then was that 3 fala students now by graduate, so we should have 3 in 2025. But lugos no mo ite. Well, if I would graduate, we probably haven't employed them. Where are we with that? So first, how many vets now you may need him for whole country? And how many now graduate finish, and how many are in the process of training? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of Opposition, for that for a good question. True, you may no gagar na animal doctors, the ministry. At the moment, you may garam na one for him on volunteer, road, and sit down there, road star. But for answering a question, the ministry have given out advertisement for 3 positions, about paid law super scale 1. So already 2 falana by ready for joining ministry, or to some interest for come. By working together now with them senior vet, blame me that him start with them if I understand. Yeah, so for by next year, 2 fala vet, blame me, local ones here, newly graduated ones here by joining ministry. Awesome. Interview by next week now. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that response. But may I ask about what's the level of need, Loyumilo country? How many vets do we need to, for meeting now, get the objects, policy objects, law ministry in terms of the livestock subsector? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition. So, 5 alana ministry have need him. We start off with 2. Hopefully, by Safal will come since we try to revive the livestock industry. We need that level of specialized people inside the ministry. So 5 alana by need him. So by 2 fala join plus that fala senior vet when we got him already for mentor him to follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just about the arrangements, looking at which one and cost effective or something. We actually got one of our local private vet company, and we registered, owned by late Dr. Anita. All the staff with the good. So in terms of just cost effective, what I mean cost effective and efficient, I need to look using to sort of and maybe pay more on task basis. I mean when deployment no me pay more on the good work and the counts. I'm good if there's a need for more vet, but I think by legal by we need more. And also so, but bring to the attention of the government, there is a local vet company that I'm also registered. I think what this time what we look for or fixing more dogs now. Make a current dog will make all of the artists and pussycat and also but we do have a local company that I'm registered, so with the prospect of using more on contract basis or task basis instead of maybe got them 5 or highly paid, at level super scale or whatever. So that's probably another arrangement, so it might need to look like.
Thank you, Honourable MP for East Joseph. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for East Joseph for that very important questions. Currently, Ministry has service nara animal doctor blame Israel Warre is still around. Also Joyce Anita daughter later Barley Anita, come back now from New Zealand, so we follow by PS Blomi, but I'm looking him tomorrow. Asking him how him like join the ministry too, because we have spaces for 3. Whether him still, whether him interest for come join me follow, or him continue with them private veterinary clinic blow, family blow him awesome. So, okata engage lo the sector mota dogs, puppies at the moment. The sector mota. So I'm wakata engage with them head CC at the moment. So taka animal mo ba wakala him before to come join him Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. Me too, me also member Luis Josol, me love him dog, Thomas. So, but any good therefore to have some private service providers too, yeah? Because no good by no garam private clinic for all kata animal, also more pets, also more than you may trouble too by must take every dog here come to the ministry mona by me trouble more this one. So perhaps spare a thought for the provision of those services to the rest of the population, side of pets. Yeah? Question for me, sir, is with regards to all ket bulmakau you meet take him come last time lo Vanuatu here. All ket you mean how now this time? All ket go grow now man came no more or and what level of growth from what original numbers here you mean casting what now this time? Thank you. No good minister came some also. Last time minister first time you came some well no me wawarti.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of Opposition, for a very important question. I think that one question we may run garam after the 2 imports from live animals from Vanuatu. What now next? If I could recall me giving one for a report, Lord Pigeonholes, last time if I asked him, but me think for presenting now one for a more comprehensive one for the House, so then me presenting for everyone for Misawe. I think also for information, we follow to follow shipment, we follow garam to a High Court case with them group law West Koyo, about na contract. But the ministry, like me mentioned in law debate, we tell them that we've learned as we go. We follow ministry and think that by things and work good with them traditional landowners. So we follow so story with them landowners and now how Pulukahem come, but time government have no up to date law pay blow rentals. What's that kill now? For pay more at the syllabus, so that's how we get out of hand. I think that fella, Mr. when we fella doing before him fail, I would say him fail. It would have been better if that land is owned by ministry now or government now, and nothing's by him work well. So thank you for that important question. We will work on a comprehensive report and presenting for everyone. So thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate responsible minister. I'm saying failure, no me. How am I fail me full time meeting me good no me West Korea one location no me. But 2-3 location too you me distribute lo hemba. Has there been growth in numbers and a healthy population, or time you say failure, just on that one location and everyone fail now, or everyone too same problem, or what now meaning by failure? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader, for that additional question. But me retrieve na information inside a comprehensive report. Yana ba I'm covering this one because me and PS will turn to new tool or things here. So We'll hope that we'll get that something from Fala, give him the information that true. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Honourable MP for Small Malaita.
Mr. Chairman, me, stand up for telling for me ask for you move on, lo another page. But before you move on, me one for policy issue now, Minister, and me raising come where imita trahat lo cattle go. This time, Minister telling him fail now. Important policy issue. So me hope for you me discussing on this comprehensive report. Minister, take him come report here. Me val samfal involve lo cattle lo 1970s and 80s here. You me try. Me val cattle farm lo me val ya. 2 times we will make him shipment. Half log at a dialogue because we had a badge, 2 tribal badge, yeah. One val I think lo east, one val lo west, one val lo Malaita. What go around. May you imagine take him cattle from Auki go around go temba Kasim Afio, ma some val where lo Auki Divinis. Meantime go Kasim Tadam LDA, I think what running. Time mo kata 5 hal blomi kasing lo dia 1 hal Divinis nara trival what say M10 tumas or less of pay noma. So this thing holding him die out now, Mr. Chairman. So any policy issue where we must ask ourselves. Something you may leave him no some people doing for me. And look also me no do me like a before away, but you may pay people with some doing. So I'm no more point for me, and then we ask for him some move on. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Honourable MP for Small Malaita. North New Georgia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Before you move on, last question, Lumilo Kator. Since him appear lo de Amoya, him fail, but he will like to try more. So him guarantee lo there. What criteria now ministry hem garim for this wala garantia? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Private farms. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for North New Georgia, for that question on livestock grants here. Him for activity where ministry handling logos or for multiplication center cattle, and also give him out to barbed wires and also picket fence for farmers. So if you like him, you can come for you. Officers level go assess him now. What the farms before so that he sabe how many barbed wire na forgive him. No, before give you stuck too much, then him stop no good no more. So we have how for doing what officers level to help out. So him na that one before for start him. So what the dream can be before and him fail. So we are trying to revive it. Yeah. So but always me take note law that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Joseph.
Yes, yeah. So page him still sweet yet, although Small Malaita say for you move now. But maybe before me asking question, maybe ask him locator that says I think the full report need to come. And then I think picking from the last comment below Small Malaita, cattle foreign animal in this country. There, as I said, there are people who are doing it better, and we need to be clear about the objective of cattle. What name you try to achieve? And from reading from here, it's just basically food security. So we have alternatives in this country, but piggy, fish, and all those things we must concentrate on. If you want in Bulmakau, Vanuatu is doing it better. They are exporting Bulmakau to Europe. Also, I don't know where else about exporting goya. So if they're doing it better, you mean when in Bulmakau, you mean like a meat loaf, and they don't have fish. well, fish bogata reef lo there, me, and poison there, and other one in fish lo so why not me? And that's the idea of having a trade, a trade office law lata. So there where you meet trading fish bolokata and okata trading bulmakau, so someone can bulmakau meat because they're doing it better. And as you are finished, this is a failure. Also, so there are other people who are doing it better, and one out is doing it better. You may importing bulmakau from Mogata and sending fish bolokata. That's trade on. The other specific questions now, I guess poultry come under this one as well. So what more technical assistance now available to poultry farmers?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for stressful and through Vanuatu o kata doing best na cattle industry. But you must revive him for him raise himself. Initial cost no more blow cattle na him expensive. But if everything him load there, I am cheaper for him raise him on cattle blame me silver. So ministry through that fella breeding center where me fella by doing me everything lo site finish na waka ham start finish. When me fella waka with him. I've got a private farmers now, and this will triple P, public-private partnership for making money. And this will poultry, for they all cheap feed and for the medicines, lokatana have nothing cover them. So that one I'm cater for. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for East Arare.
Thank you, Chair. I think there's policy issues definitely for discussing with Zimiharam. But in terms of Mifal East Arare, Mifal support you, Minister, for you me, Mifal Garam place call them Highlands. So Highlands, what's a place for Buluka before, Para Kosa New Zealand now, what's it, Turuan too, but Hemlo there. So the idea is if we're going to go down this track, processes here, things like abattoir and also, I think you also look at him too this time in terms of the connection and then towards market. If it's really going to be just about food security, maybe anything happen that somehow sickness kasim buluka blo Vanuatu iminosa taken from Mogata, how na ba yumi lebet eating beef kind of same. So I think it's good to probably look at that food security concept as a priority for government policy. So I think that one number in terms of abattoir and that whole system whereby supporting kind of same because some fala lo Israel already for putum fence na and looking for that. And then the other question number, if I may, Chair, is how na if connections with other people like em tekem kambuluka kaya no same. Mi falo Israel karem connections ya. So sama man se buluka lo here, you will like him. Whether breed by fitim yumina, mi falo no sabe. So how now? By you fala sa come in lo that fala area or help him, guide him, process kind of same. So only buluka way you fala sa teke, one fala approved one lo ministry or some fala narwan lo Fiji or what say stand by lo dia too man. Kind of same. So just needed guidance in terms of what now, how IMISA go about, if it's only just for food security. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Minister of Finance, Treasury.
Thank you, Chair. In fact, me bar support him now. Call law, small malaita for him a little bit, move fast. But I think policy going forward in terms of especially livestock, and something that, as you noted, especially from the Ministry of Agriculture, and of course, government policy direction and intention for me focus more on areas of growth that by helping me, especially in quick gain. So, some especially law areas that help us to ongoing, but I think government focus mainly on areas that by him helping. Of course, the importance of food security, but the thing that one me like for me, and Chair, if we a little bit move fast, a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for Istarare for support lo this fella Katole. By you first time for Tekna, because everything I'm ready lo dena. So, by officers below me by around come for as soon as EIM start next year, I come around for looking na that will farm lo New Zealand lo Istarare also. So that investors supporting you for ready now for Buluka for come. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MP for his choice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Me asking me earlier on technical assistance from Ministry of Poultry farming. We will engage the one for 4,000 layers and 3,000 broilers establishment, and we asked for technical assistance for go out and just for what experts for go looking and advising me for what for me for doing. I think it cost up 4 weeks now this time. No anyone come up now, so how fast now? You sabe what people say come for looking me up, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. My apology for no answering my question earlier on. Project I'm approved finish here. What's Selena just come now? Thank you, now, Finance Minister. PS Lulu here. What's Selena just come so that for the project I'm approved finish. For your information, 2,000 layer arrived for Friday through Liku Queen now. So the NPS Lumi Kuapa excuse him the speaker for go look him now but say him arrived 2,000 layers. Yeah, so and work together with him another businessman for selling out that one. So everything here come from Australia. So I'm look normal demand. We've been trying to address this whole shortage law. Broiler or hatchery blame we will no more imigarem, but luckily me fella look him na what a law Lico Queen, they are into that one. So approval and confidence permit and ready. So Friday, first batch arrive. So if there is a demand for this one, then you may work out with them with the private business owners, blame enough for give him supply below this one, because they've been doing that one for some time now, but over the stop, and now that him revive him and for good news for you me. So if man like him later. Outlet there, building Solma him facing Don Bosco. Sol Sama, sorry. So him that one, so him na for answering question by you, my good MP for East choice. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader.
Yeah, thank you. Side law. Or get a picky. Well, generally, livestock, look aside, plant them garas, but ordinarily feed them expensive too much, man. And if there was some work, perhaps research work or something for establishing how you may reducing feed them, making price block go down, price block pick go down. The other is sometimes, I mean, obviously because feed him is expensive, or get the pricing of the livestock is expensive too. But if feed him, you will succeed in finding stock feed where him much cheaper, then pricing must come down. So we have to start looking forward as to those benefits being passed on to the consumer. Mi wala constituency tu mi wala last time Taiwan farm lo KG mi wala buy sama la pig or piglet mi wala wait kasi this time make 4 year or 5 year now yeah 300 rupees pig so buy mi wala na last time former PSM say oh you will wait a little bit more but you still find them yet but many people on top of them. Yeah, I think also man. So I'm not like Salman. Pick by me hollow way mona. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Official Leader of Opposition, for that question. Yes, Sadlo Bigari, we acknowledge now what we tell them, feed has been a problem because we are not producing our own feed. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock got a memorandum of agreement together with organics. Group here, currently doing some research work on old Taiwanese farm here. So if anyone you go around with their finish, but you look in group here, what established there for help them ministry. We have specialists from Philippines that with them the 12 company continue for doing research work. So we hope that everything by him good. Cannot blame by him good. Now with them pig under World Bank funded project, Stiatia, we follow also in the process for they can come in semen pig here from Australia. So him fella need for work with them. Some fella private business owners blame me too for get them that fella facility him ready before he misal conducting artificial insemination. Also need to find them to storage because what semen would come need him cold environment now for him remain good if no more by him go bad. Yeah? So everything about fella prepare him ready before things him coming. So that's the direction the ministry is now taking. Big blue, you know, I understand. Yes, blue and tau blue, so I'm giving you a big too. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for Small Malaita.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think by what big blow out man. Me go from big too, I would say after 9 months, kill now. But me and 4 years, yeah. Meeting him skill was him stone, yeah. Who know by cut him, yeah. So I'm alright PS, I'm tabu blue, but for cut him by hunting. But point me like go along him also, Chairman. You mean proper advice law or with something, yeah. And I think we're looking at the ministry for doing leading advice law. Every farmer now, we go grow bigger, go feed them, baraba hard too much. Not only hard, but expensive. So one for man come advice banana. So fruit law banana, me all Vincent go stock law banana, go no in banana now. Bigger no sell yet. So, Chairman, I have no point when we like him here. Kind advice also, I'm good. What say also, what naraman come more, you tell him by me, I'll go look him over there. But advice also, kind all about also, yeah. You mean all about now, yeah. So go sell a pig, go casting 4 years, even no kick limit, expensive no more. So, point when me like ask him, Minister, please, you got people on the ground who are advising me valo takdaki, chicken, piggy, everything. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP of Small Malaita, for concern raised. True to us. That's the way now ministry have looking necessity for recruiting now animal doctors, baby. So the people are trained, well trained. So now I'm not give him advice for me. So I'm not for that one. So no here I'm not advice for them road. Come, we will have the right people inside the ministry for give him that technical advice so that big blue and so grow fast. Yeah, you say him 4 years now. I'm big now. So then fella giving me technical advice so that Pick Blue hens will grow faster and no slow growth blend. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now put the question. Sorry, Honorable Leader.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Pipik blame I know pipik okay me peti. When so story with him lot money, I give him 4 years. Go pipik game was in Bulukana. So you know what to must. Me like ask about said law get a honey bee. Me to ale keep him some lives. Me go kasim 10 now. Then 10 years go down mo go kasim 3 more. Problem with swarm and problem with husbandry, but you know some other pest issues too. Management me come look him some of staff too. Not that in personal interest below me, but I think it's symptomatic of other farmers who keep him honey. Last time we go lata, we go look him all kata we keep him honey below there. Manim baru grow good to masi. So, Minusa, what are we doing wrong and what they're doing right? And in these management husbandry practices, whether hem now the key or issues lo might and pests, you may surrender lo hem now. And therefore, because if you go to store you buy honey, one small bottle, this time 150 now. You may talk about food security, one for critical piece law pasole. If you talk with a member blow is choice ole, honey no barawiba. Am advice me lo hem last time lo honey. So me for follow hem lo side lo kaki honey too, but go doctor let me stop because gout kasi me me stop. But so hem advice from Minister of Healthy. So. But this one are critical garden health benefits too for some illnesses. So it's important you may encourage honey production. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of Official Opposition, for your question on honey. I think if you read Facebook or newspaper, me arrive from Australia, and from airport me direct na lo Ranadi for doing na handover lo what honey materials under FAO project, working closely with ACR, but not doing research work and scientific workload that one. Me follow me handover na what materials for CISBEC na me follow work closely with them and Triple P. Mode. So this whole material I have fit in more than 20 farmers, honey farmers, for going to honey. So yes, the ministry have help them farmers lo honey, so that you may produce him and bring him down the price lo honey. So what ministry have doing lo honey. Thank you too much.
Thank you, Honourable MP, for his choice.
Thank you. Nothing you mean page 45. Or the extension and training, yeah. Where now what our offices actually stationed, and whether they're in terms of performance, achieving the objective of the work that the extension officers are doing, how successful they are in terms of disseminating information and working with rural farmers. So maybe just get in view, Minister, that one, where are they actually stationed, and whether the current arrangement is really working for us.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP Blow Istrisol, for the very important question on extension services reaching the rural farmers. Ministry, like me mentioned, we are recruiting 34 officers for joining ministry. So next year they should be in the ministry. me fala make sure that most of them are posted out to the provinces. And the budget blum fal too, me fala look for building too and repairing too some fala staff houses out in the provinces for helping now spread out reach out for the farmers blame me fala also look who work closely too for the constituencies. Me tatalem lo speech below me like him now one for agriculture officer for sit down now with them its constituency office so that everything is more focused and directed look at awesome. So yes, we'll ensure that officers are posted out selain for move around here now. That has been a challenge for logistical support awesome. But we will hope that we will recruit more staff. Stakawan from each province, you post them you go to province, you select na. Or from constituency, we need some of what officers here from constituency select. So make sure lo under this will MP allocation here, sponsors are student for school agriculture too, so that saya employ bike ministry saya employ for wakalo. That for constituency blue na awesome. No to take him come mandona place mo by time I'm holiday by big selen mo for him go for holiday home blue. Awesome, it's better that each one will work on province blue na something awesome. For me cut them down na cost at holiday awesome. So yes, we are seriously addressing that one. Thank you for that follow point raised.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Choiseul.
Thank you, Mr. the Chairman. I'm very encouraged about that one. In fact, that's the right direction. You may thinking for when we, in fact, your Permanent Secretary was involved inside in come up with the RCDF legislations, and we have that legislation passed. And what we envisage, here actually to deploy public officers, especially productive sector, to the constituency development center and give him hands-on advice, not extensions of advice. And so the staff we'll start with more the farmers, planting cocoa. This is how it is done. Go check him about farm blogger every day. So it is more effective when they are stationed low constituencies. So we are really encouraged by that. In fact, your Permanent Secretary was directly involved in the formulation of the RCDF legislation. In fact, I sent him to the Ministry of Rural Development because we had a draft finished, and then he really drives it, Mr. Chairman. So I think that direction is very encouraged. We are encouraged by that direction, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable MP for East Choiseul. Honourable Leader.
Yes, thank you. But biar talang wena for got take material honeybee with was powerful. Lo side lo mo biosecurity, sir. Long side lo income lo here, page 39. 12 item here, quarantine fumigation fees and clearance fees, vessels and aircraft. Lo side lo aircraft, me this come yesterday. Before you land no more, come out, take a moti, not spray inside. No, what they will spray, but what's spray come inside? This time you may not deal with him vessels in that way now. Time come to airport no more, you take him yellow card, you go give him the access, but the vessel itself, you may not do him anything to him. That's why I think oh they take him any kind something go out island limit because you may know. Sisi spray more kata aircraft and ship and something also. Me go Renault, a few weeks ago, go to Olode. Looking rhinoceros beetle there now. Or with mining equipment go, take him go. So sort locket man. But I mean, him move around lo so. But that was spray, me wonder what now is that now the global practice, spray more something here. But these two items also appear low, page 32 under low headquarter. Quarantine fumigation fees and clearance vessels and have amounts projected there as well. are they different activity? So they're different allocations, or I'm just a little bit under one and a little bit under headquarter? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of the Opposition, for that fellow observation. Yes, the activities is same nama, the centralized law, central administration, headquarter, the ministry. This will spray what aeroplane. Everywhere we go, got no spray through. Before got spray, but this time got no spray na. So I think what stop for spray na. So you know to do that one me too. That officer blow me every time I'm go for take him now to west lo there for go Benin lo Ranadi side blow fala lo there. So I'm now what him do them for spray na him stop na everyone stop. So same one number. Me fell also looking at reviewing the fees too, yeah. So by him now you look him he increased to lo there, lo that fella budget allocation. So but we will make sure too. Me will no increasing go big too much. Go to me discourage na when the businesses blame me. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. But in terms of Pestia move between islands below Yumi, rhinoceros bitulemi spread lo coconut stock below Yumi logata islands. What steps now do we usually take? We did not take him something him go, or you may not take him enough, or something go logat nar island moy. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of Solo Opposition. That one now have a big challenge. You're raising that one. Every CP, everywhere, no more to go, you mean no control no more. So that's the one I think they have to move around. So that's a great challenge for us. We may control on the movement of the vessels from island to island. So if a lot of time, what a report him come no more that, oh, something I have mataklo here now. Before the officers will actually fly on for give him come back now report for what now action for take him or send. So that has been the challenge that you highlighted. Lord, alien species here for go around from island to island. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Thank you. So no plans afoot for addressing this issue. It is a serious issue. This one of the best move around look at islands here. Me here I'm go answer the minister because I've heard also it's a challenge. You mean if I'm casting there, you may respond go, but any proactive actions to take, putting in perhaps some regulatory protocols, and both on ships, operators and also, but also on passengers and on freight and all that kind of something also. Or is that going to be too expensive? Has it been looked at? I suppose is what I'm asking. But for you, me give up to him now. You mean no must be more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader, for question. Yes, Ministry law at the provinces and islands where outside him na Sierra Bilham, Ministry call to for community engagement. Yeah. So for me run for doing sanitation, clearing law, but plantations and also we also fungus and virus too. What have been making load for control of na population lokata adult bitole also. So we will not give up, but also how for control and now me try for expressing come that the way me put them and also we will give up, but we are not giving up. But we need participation and active participation from the community members. Blame him no problem law biosecurity level or Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock level, but him problem that we should own and we work towards for eradicating now over the pests and disease where Mapielo or different islands blame me. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for West Harare, Chair of the LC.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, colleague East Harare, for the space. Thank you, Minister. Totokloyu lo kata pest control ya, I'm interested in one. You no give up. Me encourage me for you no give up, but by you no sa win. Me to caution because as long as him tala continue with him looking, by you no sabe winning fight ya. O kata karasia lo kualea ni la karasia. Me bara ko surprise na los mo malaitawan for lockdown lo dia. Full now. So, o kata by even o kata pest African snail, o kata continue for go from island to island. Lokin na him take mo kata you go lockdown him lo dia na. So me encourage me no ma keep on fighting. But that is the situation him facing. Lokin him continue for current o kata pest, o kata snail, and o kata grass. Kolo o kata another island. From island to island. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for Mr. Harare. May acknowledge and thank you now for the encouragement. We will not give up. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for East Harare.
Thank you for giving me the last intervention before you move on. Page 44. Extension party where East Choizo was talking about before we jump back to biosecurity, but this very encouraged by the extension policy that the minister was outlining about people going and perhaps linking with this constituency centres concept that is also there, we know. But it's just like for looking normal salary and top of the first item normal accounting code, yeah? Salary normal, maybe ministers are explaining come, sound nice, but then we look in a bit drop lo de lo salary block at the extension. Place where me like and people for go to mas, yeah? What might be the reason for the drop in terms of salaries there? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for East Harare for a very important point that you raised in terms of salary. Yes, the ministry looking at expanding the number in terms of staffing plan. I look at different departments. Several departments, there are increases. If you look central headquarters and administration, there's an increase. If you look at research, increase too by 91,530. Information unit, there's an increase 69,647, and planning 183,468. So kata departments here, there's increase lohem. Together with them, central headquarters. Salary, but if you look at livestock, biosecurity and extension, by looking now, there's a reduction. And we have got to put them round but there's an increase by 500,000 low salary. If you look at increases here and what a reduction here, there is still a increase by 500,000. So I'm still cater for all the salaries, law, ministry, and new ones by coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for Small Malaita.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question on this unit unit, department, me look lo establishment actually, me lo, sorry, not research, extension, staffing, me go up by 4, So, I'm no question where is that, me ask me might want to say, why now salary, me go down, but staffing law them go up here. In fact, there's an increased law every department law ministry except information unit. Every other unit here there is an increase in staff, totaling up to more than 30 people. This establishment. So me like maybe Minister Save explaining reason law this one.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for Small Malaita, for the supplementary question on that one. Yes, like you pointed out, extension and big reduction there. But if you look low, total low, different departments here, this are central headquarters and admin here, Hembara 654,897, research 91,530, information 69,647, and planning 183,468. So every increase is here, if you add them up, 1.1 million so net that one. So kaitana for extension here too. So been centralized mostly law, central headquarters and administration. So kaita for what sort follow reduction as appeal there. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP for Small Malaita.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, when the Minister hemi talemba hemi sabal lokat nara subhead noma come this one so hemi good something. I mean hemi something for hemi sabe look lo hem later. My question now really low, still low extension. I was going to ask. Law extension services when we find them law establishment for fala new one, and I think I've got allocating law for fala or I've got the provinces law Malaita. I think there's 2 where I got start law when I law this fala establishment 2 new one law Malaita province. I think law southern region one fella me looking me what say afio but location blame na honiara so me like 7 hours for minister and me clarify him come me look after Virginia but him stable honiara or what now. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP for Small Malaita for that question. Yes, by staff here, by him, posted golo afiona, house blame na, when vala repaired, the new staff here should posted golo there. So by him no staff lawyer, we will no recruiting it, but by him come, by go staff law afiona. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MP.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Me very happy to mas law minister and PS blame too. Talk law PS law time him appear before committee PAC. This one when minister just tell him law speech blame. I'm like every 50 constituency must guarantee extension officer law. Constituency law there now. Honiara, East Honiara, Central Honiara, na Minogarasa, but me like him. So my question is, how now for imi make him that one kind also where Minister, you know, Garan, because me will like start next year, yeah? This one like establishment blow you, yeah? Let me finish. But me will like him, this one wing like him, yeah? Where me attached with him constituency office. So if me like him officer for him start law next year now, how do we do it? How do we go around doing it in terms of your establishment, but also law budgetary requirements line? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for small malaitas. So, misalnya CDC beliau yang wakakut ya. So if committee beliau lodes have provided a house, then we can quickly send them na officer. By me, staka officers di dalam nama lo headquarter or sem housing na will have a big problem. That's the one na staka one na so got you need them na house where garam loka ya, you know, live house and sem we use for garam before. This time we need them permanent houses for the government officers who have to work a lot of provinces for security of the family or some. So we hope that by you help them, we follow that for area. We guarantee you that I can give a staff for him come next year. Awesome. Sadlo picket fence and na istarare. Sadlo staff, you na by you starting. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MP for his choice.
Thank you very much. That's good. This last information here. Mihal Garam 6 for staff houses law. Each also continues development. 3-bedroom, 1-year standard houses. I'm stopped there now, Mr. Chair. First one, Mihal by, and thank you very much, Minister of Lands Nolo here. And me confirming Kamala Mihal that by me put him come over the land recording group, yeah. But they go using one for staff house now. And they will use this office where I'm stopping nothing, this 10-room office block. I'm stopped there anymore, and about 16 and go using one file. So now you tell them that one, sorry, I'm going to need to point to him, Mr. Chairman. Good news. So we will come to you. Suppose you all know, with him come, I'll be converting the first center into the rural training center later on. We will start by tribe by sit down and look at person because I'm not really doing anything for me. Right now, the station have stopped nothing on. Mr. Chairman, so I'm encouraged, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, MP, for this choice for question that was sent 2018. We go sleep load that was building in Pariament. So I've been to that place. Me like doing too, kind him doing me, but me no garam slang. Anyway, yes, Baratru big house na lo. But I'm good too for you work am training center lo there, and staff here by him come na. So him prepare finish na. So you by second na him face. Awesome. So thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Honourable Leader.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So all kita officers here, once all kita come, you little bit allocation for rent for kita? Yeah. Inside, eh? Oh, we must put one wall now too.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Leader. Rental lo there too, yeah. So you provide come house now. Come on, Byron. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. I think I will not put the question, but just know that actually the discussions that have taken place so far are totally outside of the scope of Standing Order 64.2. So it bears no relevance to this. What's relevant to this? You refer to the report of the Public Accounts Committee. You will see exactly there. Those are the issues that should be addressed during the Committee of Supply, not what you have just disposed of in the last hour. Thank you. So with that note, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $46,982,207 for head 03 stand part of the schedule. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $982,207 for head 03 now stands part of the schedule. Our next head for consideration is head 04, Office of the Auditor General. And again, if I may repeat from what I've just said in reference to how we have discussed the issues around head 03, it is proposed that the sum of $13,757,497 for head 04 stand part of the schedule. And if any member wishes to comment on this head, please refer again to pages 50 to 51 of the draft recurrent estimates. And the PAC's findings and recommendations of the head are on pages 29 to 35 of the PAC report on this bill. Again, if I might repeat, if you look at that page, and we are focusing on the outcome and the recommendations and observations done by the PAC, you will see that the issues of concern under this head, for us to be more specific, the matters raised by the committee include the following, and there are a number of them. Office of the Auditor General highlight the crucial role of the office in governance while addressing persistent issues of capacity, resourcing, and systemic failure in public financial management. There are four of them. The last one here is that the committee referenced concern above audit backlog and the inability of the national system to produce reliable financial statements. So these are the focus of the committee in addressing these issues that have been raised there. So it makes it more focused, and the consideration outcome will be more useful especially in ministries in following up in the implementation of the budget, especially guided by the observations I said here, which are reinforced under the consideration by the PAC, but also the committee that is now sitting. So please focus on here on these particular issues with regard. Let's take a bit more depart from what we have delved into under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Any comments on that head? Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah,
you said it by example, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Me always obedient servant, you know, my Honourable Speaker. Although me beg to differ from you. You know, PAC have been helpful guiding me, but PAC have been no exhaustive in what it recommends. And this one have committee of supply blow house now, this one have even higher than PAC more. And so even when PAC have me silent on some matters, this committee can pick up on those matters. Otherwise, if we got committee oversight, we got overlooking something, then you may overlook him too. So I think there needs to, you just need to, as usual, you're very gracious and you're very embracing and you allow a little bit of debate. And this process, this toing and froing him actually quite useful to and standing orders allow a little bit of policy debate for happen. So I think as usual, your flexibility is much appreciated, sir. Just in terms of Office of Auditor General, what issues where PAC identifying where you're reading first time here, capacity blow, retention of specialized staff has been an ongoing, a chronic challenge. So lo side lo audit fees or get charge me now, time you look lo income blow lo antame. Of course, there's now they're projecting a significant increase, but I think yes, there is need for on that matter to look at the possibility that Ogata Barava charge him straight commercial rates, so that they're able to pay for Ogata, time of outsourcing audits. They're able to pay for those, but especially they have money to attract qualified, certified accountants, auditors, and then retain them, which really points to this further discussion lomo bill blokete to allow them the flexibility to be able to do that. This is a highly specialized and sought after a group of individuals, and if you may not look after market, you may trouble all way. So there is that need to take a different approach than we have up to date. So perhaps if the minister could comment on the progress on that bill and on that particular policy issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and to thank the leader of Office of Opposition for a very important areas that arise in relate to Office of the Auditor General. In fact, that also concern raised earlier in relation to Ombudsman Office, and so the need for resourcing our state-owned institution, something that the government is looking at, and you also note that the leader of opposition also highlighted that now with the work of Office of the Auditor General, especially for auditing, they also going to put some charges, especially when doing what you may look in some of our SOEs. They perform very well, so from helping me in terms of up-to-date auditing, which also request if they can support that office for quick in terms of carrying out auditing. So that also appears sometimes you see fees and charges that the audit office charge increase, and also the contract that we can charge 10% loan administration. But the point that the leader Hemi raised in, that's something that the government is also taking some serious consideration on that, especially going forward, that need for our state institution for well-resourced. That's something that, and the bill for Parliament, so that help me to lot issues just facing, and especially law Office of the Auditor General. So that bill, especially on that timing of it, hopefully we look at next year and biggest number of legislative reforms that the government is prioritizing. This bill is also one of the important ones. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I note your earlier observation and concerns you raising. We could cut this, supposed to be focused number of recommendations law committee. I remember during my permanent secretary's days, Mr. Chairman, if I'll actually respond, permanent secretaries are required to respond to these things, and we have another volume that can come sit down with him, the report of the Public Accounts Committee. So we can actually dispense with the business of this committee, sit down here. So it's in focus no more law recommendations. But as noted by the leader of the opposition, there are other issues, and we thank you very much for allowing me for a little bit comment like that. And my comment, Mr. Chairman, is specifically on 224, page 451, 22404, and that is training other, and we try to look low elsewhere more. No more allocations more. And when I was still there as a minister, one of the report come from the Auditor General, and he made the point that there's only one qualified accountant, and he made reference to CPA level along the Auditor General's office, and that's himself, and no anyone more. And also he was and put him up come that for concern law minister at that time, and we did discuss some of serious arrangements with him, and not only confined to Ministry Auditor General's office, Mr. Chairman. This is an issue across the public service now. including state-owned enterprises, and these are institutions that Auditor General have got responsibility for auditing Mokot, and also so he need qualified personnel. Look here now, I don't know the training program long Auditor General's office now. So where is it taken up? Are some people on training this time? When we really need him qualified accountant. I think the issue raised as well by the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, the need for maybe every head of accounting department or ministry, ideally at the CPA level, so making easy work of the Auditor General's office. I just want to find out where the training arrangements for the Auditor General's office have started.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to member for each choice of, especially very important to do with human resource law, especially the Office of the Auditor General, and also getting more qualified or certified accountant people. That's something that is really important for us. And so, as Chair, in terms of training that the member have me, that's something that in general the government is also working closely with the office to see. In fact, the action taken by the Office of the Auditor General when government put some freezing on recruitment of public, that time they not stop for advertise or recruitment, which they take that policy direction seriously. But I think government is also considering case by case and the need for recruitment. And so that's an approach that we also do with some ministry. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable MP for East Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm not really clear the answer. Are there offices for Auditor General's office on training now, and how many of them? And pursuing maybe CPA qualifications, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I think to respond direct to the, especially with how many now or some certified content on train, that's something that I will get the numbers and provide, which I don't have the actuals with me now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable MP for West Arara.
Thank you, Chairman. Lo auditor lo site lo qualified accountants, then that one I'm critical one, yeah, because okata losing no more okata officers blokata annually, and demand for okata am high, Chairman. So, Minister, earlier, the Ministry of Agriculture, there is this demand, need for okata vet doctors, and Minister had me informed House SS1 now okata starting okata lahem. Meeting immediately also look at accountants particularly now we are dealing with this Auditor General's office. Certified accountants starting more at law SS1 because demand look at outside time more certified Chairman and high focus. So me like my Ministry of Agriculture, I think that is where policy government should go. They should also reflect them and starting more at the certified accountants SS1. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for that observation. I think in line with the public service, that's something that the government already come up with a policy on that, and especially even including our FC to go on contract. So That's something that is already government policy to sort of even to reach the level of FC to go on contract to, and that will help us in terms of performance and of course recruitment that we look at more qualified people. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. So perhaps committee could be assisted by public service law, how by Yumiluk law this will need and for mitigating more at risk or Yuminosa sustain or keep him more at a good qualified people living in this particular area. I know there's been some discussions between the Auditor General and Public Service about addressing more challenges. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Leader. Honourable Minister for Public Service.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Leader of Opposition. Yes, like Minister Francis mentioned already, you already start for work on that one. With the upcoming new classification under the new Public Service Act, you may also take care of some of these major challenges along getting people moving out from the public service. So that work has been ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. This is good, sir. Ministry of Finance and of Public Service must hurry up on this work for KTM, make me losing more what they currently have, and this matter of training. It's not just one-off training to get the staff certified, then they have to keep updated, so it's ongoing training, and you must support them. I see in the development budget allocation for training facility block and building here. That's good. When we come to it, we'll share some views about that one, but we must support this office. The other aspect to the work that they do, of course, on for core role block at now long or side law, financial audit law, financial statements, national accounts and all the SOE and all SEM, and that obviously give resource constraints, but they're doing the best they can there. You must support them what we're doing. The other is societal performance audits, and we're seeing more and more of that exercise coming out. We want to encourage that, and that too must grow here. This was complaint below minister below MID here, that what contract for infrastructure and tend to be excessive. Well, those are matters that when a performance audit is conducted, part of those auditors are not just going to be financial audit specialists. It's going to be engineers who will be looking at, why now time or tender cutting price reasonable or no more materials good quality, price commensurate with it. All of these things are really going to help in the broader function of Auditor General, which is to make sure there's economy in public expenditure, and that we're not spending more public funds for something that you could achieve the same quality for less. So it's really a very important responsibility of performance audit. Of course, some of that are special audits. Some of the performance stuff is special audits. That too must continue. So I'm good for you may support him. And of course, the Constitution also provides. You may know do immediate here, but I think it's something that the Minister must explore. The Constitution may provide also for the Auditor General to play a kind of, low payment system of Treasury, for example. That Auditor General has a role for approving local compliance law payments before they are actually issued. That may slow down procurements further, but it's something to be studied. And if also they have some prior input already, law government procurement or the payment side of it. Sir, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Leader of Opposition, and also for the encouragement. That's something that the government, especially Ministry of Public Service, already implementing, especially for recruitment, to look at and that come back also to areas of need that you may like forget them more people to engage them, and especially in the area of finance to get some qualified people, and thinking now even out of financial control of Lord Ministry by me also engage him on contract basis. But the thing that need almost have me across government ministry and the public sector that we yet to get more qualified people. Even the issue of drugs that was also highlighted. These are the areas that you also need some expertise and people for really helping me law guidance provided to government so that it also make some decision that me important. And so yes, that something that government now for improving some of our services, and especially what the needs, including the Office of the Auditor General, and of course the need for training is also important. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any other comments on that head before I put the question? If not, let me put the question. The question is that the sum of $13,757,497 for head 04 stands part of the schedule. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $13,757,497 for head 04 now stands part of the schedule. Honourable members, our next head is quite a long head, and I prefer that I call the Committee of Supply to be interrupted and suspended until 1:30 p.m. this afternoon.